All right, boys, bring it in.
All right, Coach. Talk about Patrick Kane on the power play one immediately.
Well, I did expect on that 5 minute major for them to get at least one. I was like, oh, this is where they're going to bury the Ottawa Senators because they're going to get a few here. But I mean, a lot of people were saying, I don't hear it on Instagram, but I heard chatter about they should have just left the power play alone. It's been successful. Why disturb it? But then I was thinking to myself, even I thought maybe they should have left the power play. Zibanejad in his, because they kept saying on the game against Boston, why did they just leave Zibanejad in his spot? He's in the bumper now. It's not his comfortable position. But the coaches need something to build off of video wise to go through and practice. So by getting them out there, now they could look at the videos and they could say, why don't we do this? And then Kane could say to Zibanejad, when you do this, I'll do that. And you sneak down the weak side, blah, blah. There's got to be something to go off of for them to learn from other than just in practice. So, again, they probably sacrificed a little bit and hopefully it pans out when they work on it in practice. And then it led to the coaches actually changing the lineup a little bit.
Yeah. So one thing I want to point out when the Rangers acquired Tarasenko, started on power. Eventually put on PP1.
We're losing you, Ed.
You're losing me?
Yeah. Having a little technical difficulties.
Hello.
I think what you're trying to say is when we got Tarasenko, they didn't put him on the power play right away. I think it's a pretty similar situation because they were speaking pretty highly of Tarasenko's relationship with Panarin as well. So, yeah, I mean, I personally thought that they were gonna put Tarasenko right on the power play one, being the lefty in that spot.
Yeah,
and I thought that's exactly what the power play needed. Now, obviously, I think Kane is exactly what the power play needs, and I think they just want to mix it up for a little bit right now. And I think eventually it's going to go back to quote unquote normal with Zibanejad on that PP1 with Fox. I mean, I was surprised, pretty shocked to see him on the PP2. But yeah, I think Kane is just a completely different player. I mean, that's been his spot on the power play for, I think I kept on saying 12 years before because that said 16 years, right? Because he played for the Blackhawks.
Yes.
So that's even crazier. Like I don't know why I said 12. So yeah, 16 years on that same spot on the power play. You got to put him there, especially with Panarin, blah blah blah. And that's in my opinion. But I could see where you could say like don't mess with a good thing. But I don't think it was really clicking on such a high level where they it was really hurting them to break it up a little bit.
I just thought after a while, again, I'll go back to that 5 minute major. They could have kept it a little simpler. And they kept on going for that cross ice. Panarin, every time he got the puck, was looking to hit Kane cross ice.
Dude.
And it was constantly getting deflected. The other team was reading it. I'm like, when are they going to change it?
Drove me crazy with this Panarin crap. Like, I love Panarin, but I mean, I looked at when I was making the outline, Coach, I had to go into the stats deep in each game. Against Boston, Panarin had 6 giveaways. 6.
Oh, it was brutal.
6 giveaways. And all 6 of them were cross-ice passes from the red line in trying to feed Kane.
Happen.
Every single one. I guarantee it. Against Ottawa, he had 3 giveaways. So he had 9 giveaways. 9 in 2 games.
I think Valley said the Rangers themselves had 19 against Ottawa.
Yeah, he did.
And Ottawa had 6.
Can't win a hockey game like that.
Yeah. 19 giveaways.
It was forced.
They had 18 giveaways. Yeah, and Ottawa had 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They had 9. Ottawa had 9. And the Rangers had 18. Double the amount of giveaways. Crazy. So look, I think Kane. No, the Gallant coach. I don't know if you saw it. Little Ed sent it earlier. New power play units.
Yeah,
power play 1: Fox, Panarin, Trocheck, Kane, Lafreniere. Power play 2: Trouba, Zibanejad, Hedel, Tarasenko, and Kreider. So first off, Capo Caco is off the power play. That's number one. And Zibanejad swaps with Trocheck, and Laffy swaps with Kreider to kind of give the power plays a little more balance. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I know you're upset that Kako's not on it, but who do you want to take off?
No, I'm just pointing it out. I don't
Oh.
necessarily know. I mean, there's so many good players. Like someone's going to sit, So
I mean, they're going to try Laffy at that Kreider-like position that he excelled at those couple of games when Kreider was hurt, and let's see what happens. I mean, I think that I don't have a problem with it. They're going to mix it up. They're going to try to get a unit that works.
Little Ed, what are your thoughts?
On taking Kako off or just in general?
Just the 2 power play units that Gallant is proposed to use here from practice.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it while you had to step away with the technical difficulties, but I'm surprised that Zibanejad is taking off that quote-unquote PP1. I mean, I think if the goal is to have, like you said, like a more well-balanced 2 units where it's not necessarily a PP1 or PP2, it's kind of like whoever's more rested in the situation, then hey, I mean, if both are going to click, you never know. He might catch lightning in a bottle in this next couple games with it, and then we could all be wrong. I mean, you never know. Like a good thing could be better, So if this works, you go with it, and then you at least have that chemistry to fall back on that we all know with Fox, Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, the usuals.
Oh, I didn't know you brought it up when I had the difficulties, but Mikey, did you give your opinion on that before I give mine?
I didn't go into too much detail.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with Little Ed here. Even though I love Laffy on the PP1, I would really love to see that time for him playing with those players.
I'm looking forward to that.
Having Tarasenko with Zibby isn't a bad thing either. It's not like you're putting him out there with third, fourth line players. Tarasenko's a world class power play guy.
So my thing is this: when I look at these 2 power plays, my only concern, and I don't mind moving guys around, so it's not a big deal to me. But Fox, Panarin, and Kane are all passers. Trouba, Zibanejad, and Tarasenko are all shooters. So why are you putting all the shooters on one power play and all the passers on the other power play? I don't really understand that concept. But I think
Laffy too isn't really a shooter. I mean, hopefully he's
going to be net front. So if he's
Yeah.
going to be net front, I'm not too concerned. If he's just going to be there to screen and deflect. Trocheck in the bumper, I get. Heedle in the bumper, I get. But
he's a shooter.
Heedle's a shooter too. So you got 4 shooters on one power play and 3 passers on the other, with Trocheck's kind of a 2-way. You can look at him either way. I don't know. I'm interested to see Fox, Panarin, and Kane just going to play keep away and never shoot.
Well, now what I'm thinking is I'm looking at the PP2 at least, and I'm thinking like it allows a lot of movement too. Like it gives Zibanejad to move back in his spot a little towards the goal line. I think they're going to set up Heedle in the bumper in the slot, so then you can also have that like Zibanejad fake one-timer to Heedle in the slot for this quick shot. Or then it also sets up the Kreider across ice. There's a lot of options. So you have all lefties on the right side of the ice, and then you got the 2 righties on the left side of the ice. So I think the way he's trying to set it up at least makes sense.
I would prefer Kako over Heedle personally, but
shocker.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, he's a better puck possession guy.
He is.
He's a better puck possession guy.
They're both good at puck possession.
He's a smarter player than Heedle.
Yes.
He's 100% smarter player than Heedle.
He is. Heedle has a better shot though. So
when he hits the net.
Yeah.
I mean, hasn't scored in like 10 games, and he's got almost 20 goals, 19 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
If he scores another 3 or 4 goals, that's a successful season.
All right, let's not argue that point again. He hasn't scored in 10 games. Exactly.
Coach, at the end of the year, when you look at his numbers, if you're not happy with his season, I don't know what you should expect from a third-line center. I just don't know. But yeah, I do agree. Kako is smarter and is a better possession player than Heedle. So if that's your goal in putting Kako on
He's
the
a
power
better-
play makes
he's
sense.
He's
But
a better
he's-
passer than Heedle too.
But he's going to play the bumper spot where possession isn't really that important. You're
But it's
mostly
the
just
passing
pushing the
spot.
puck around. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
moving the puck around and shooting it. Like so, Heedle can get the puck in the bumper and fire it on goal, and it's perfectly fine there.
Okay.
But if it was on the half wall, I think I'd prefer Kako than Heedle. But either way, either one would be fine. If Heedle was sitting and Kako was there, I'd feel the same way I feel now. You know, someone's got to sit. So I think you might see Kako mix in there on the power play. But all right. Anything else on this point?